He will not give you a very compartmentalized block called farce or something which you only laugh at. He will give you a chunk of life, and life does not give you only laughter. Laughter has a price. Laughter becomes more happy if you have a taste of sadness before that. This is necessary to somehow make them appreciate the kind of happiness which they are possibly going to get very soon. Hello and welcome back to NibblePop. We are doing a thorough textual reading and analysis of William Shakespeare's play Twelfth Night. We have already completed the first act of the play, and today in this video we are going to look at the first scene of the second act. As I was explaining to you earlier, Shakespeare has kind of divided his play into 5 acts which coincide with the 5-act structure of Greek plays. According to that, the second act happens to be the rising action part. Okay, so where the action becomes more complicated, the exposition part is over. But here in this scene, we will see that we will get ourselves new characters. So it's kind of an extension of exposition, and at the same time, we get to have some idea about how things might get more complicated now that 2 new characters have arrived in Illyria. Who these characters are and what they do and what they plan to do next is going to be the content of the first scene of the second act, which is going to be a very short video, so don't skip anything. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do so right now so that you get notified every time a new video comes up. This is Monami Mukherjee. Welcome once again. After that big scene that ends the first act, we get to see a very short scene, and we get to see 2 new characters, Antonio and Sebastian. As the scene begins, we see Antonio and Sebastian entering the stage. However, if you are an audience or if you are seeing the play, then of course you do not know who these characters are. Because we are reading this play, we already have the names Antonio and Sebastian written on the book. Therefore, we know who these characters are. So, if you are a playwright, if you are writing a play, you cannot have this taken for granted that the audience will know who the characters are. So, you have to introduce dialogues or speeches through which you will understand not just the nature of these characters but also their identities. Okay, so here we will see the conversation between the 2 men who have come up on stage whom we have not seen so far. All right, will you stay no longer, nor will you not that I go with you? So Antonio, he is asking the other person, who we know is Sebastian, that what are his plans now? Will he not stay any more with him? By your patience, no. My stars shine darkly over me. The malignancy of my fate might perhaps distemper yours. So I am having this phase of misfortune. My star, my fortune is so dark right now that it's almost like a disease. So if I latch on to you, if I stay with you, my misfortune might make your fortune become dark. So I might infect you with bad luck. This is what he's saying. Therefore, I shall crave of you your leave that I may bear my evils alone. So I would rather be alone, because then I won't have this guilt that I have turned somebody's good day into a bad one, because like I am so ill-fated, I have such a bout of bad luck that anybody who is near me is also going to face bad luck because of me. So he wants to be alone. It were a bad recompense for your love to lay any of them on you. Now, since you have been such a good friend to me, you have helped me so much, if I stay on with you and your luck turns bad because of me, then that will be a bad payment. Okay, so recompenses, when you pay somebody back, give a compensation back. So Sebastian gives us two informations here. Number one, Antonio has helped him a lot, and number two, there is a lot of friendship between the two. And there is also this added information that Sebastian is going through a very bad phase in his life. Let me yet know of you whither you are bound. So, okay, you don't have to stay with me, but at least let me know where you are going. No, sooth, sir. I have no idea, in truth. My determined voyage is mere extravagancy. So, my journey now, henceforth, has no fixed direction, has no fixed purpose. So, I don't have any fixed solid plans that I can tell you. But I perceive in you so excellent a touch of modesty, because you're such a modest person, you're such a good person, good at heart person, that you will not extort from me what I am willing to keep in. That I know that you are a very modest person and you will never force me to tell you things which I should not tell you or which I want to keep secret from you. Therefore, it charges me in manners the rather to express myself. So, the point is, because you are not forcing me to tell everything about myself, therefore, I feel that I should tell you everything about myself. Okay, so it's like he wants to reveal whatever he is keeping from him. You must know of me then, Antonio. My name is Sebastian, which I call Rodrigo. Now, this is a dramatic strategy of Shakespeare. See, Shakespeare is making Sebastian tell about himself in front of us, okay, the audience, so that we now realize that, okay, this is the brother about whom Viola was talking. Okay, so this is how the identities are established on stage through the words that are spoken by the characters. Okay, it's not like a novel where the novelist, he gives you or she gives you a clear picture of who this character is even before that character speaks anything. So here we get to know, this is the part where we get to know the name of Antonio as well as the name of Sebastian. And we get to know that Sebastian so far was not revealing about himself. He first had told Antonio that his name is Rodrigo. Now he is saying that, see, my name is not Rodrigo, my name is Sebastian. My father was that Sebastian of Messalin whom I know you have heard of. So now he is also giving the details about his parentage, about his father, and we also understand that his father was pretty famous. He left behind him myself and a sister, both born in an hour. So we were twins. He is now talking about Viola, yes. If the heavens had been pleased, would we had so ended. So we were born together and I wish we could die together. So there's a different kind of bond that is usually seen between twin siblings, twin brothers and sisters, because you see, they are connected to each other even before they are born. So somehow maybe they have a deeper psychological and emotional connection to each other. And therefore he says that I wish I died the day she drowned, because he thinks Viola is dead. But you, sir, altered that. For some hour before you took me from the breach of the sea, was my sister drowned. So just a few hours before you rescued me, my sister was drowned. So you are the one who changed destiny, because otherwise twin sisters and brothers were born together. I think they should die together. This is what Sebastian is saying. Alas the day. Antonio is also expressing his sorrow, his grief that Sebastian has lost his sister. A lady, sir, though it was said she much resembled me, was yet of many accounted beautiful. Now, you might feel that, in case of twin siblings, one of whom is a sister and the other is a brother, if they look like each other, then maybe the sister looks manly and the brother looks like a woman. So he is trying to address this problem and says that no, although she looked a lot like me, resembled me, she was still a very beautiful woman. Okay, so she was not masculine in that sense, she was quite feminine in her beauty. But though I could not with such estimable wonder over far believe, so I can't believe that, yet thus far I will boldly publish her, she bore a mind that envy could not but call fair. Now, more than her beauty, what Sebastian wants to focus on is the fairness of her mind. So he is saying that his sister had a very fair mind, which might also mean that she was very intellectual and intelligent. She is drowned already, sir, with salt water. Now, according to Sebastian, Viola had drowned in the sea, and sea is salt water. So she is drowned already, sir, in salt water. Though I seem to drown her remembrance again with more. And now when he is remembering her, he is weeping. And as he is weeping, salt water is coming out of his eyes, his tears. And so he says that she is drowned in salt water, that is sea water. And I am drowning her memory with more salt water. Here, salt water means tears. So two meanings of salt water in the same place. Pardon me, sir, your bad entertainment. So Antonio feels that he could have done something about Sebastian's grief, could have cheered him up more with a little bit of entertainment perhaps. Now, notice one thing, that in case of Viola, Olivia, Sebastian, we all see a lot of grief. And somehow this is also very weird because we are reading what? A comedy. And a comedy which is loaded with so much of grief and unhappiness and sadness and loss. When it begins, well, this is what Shakespeare is. He will not give you a very compartmentalized block called farce or something which you only laugh at. He will give you a chunk of life, and life does not give you only laughter. Laughter has a price, and more often than not, laughter becomes more important. Laughter becomes more happy if you have a taste of sadness before that, right? So somehow I feel that this creation of moments of grief, for the case of Olivia or Viola or whoever it is, of Sebastian, this is necessary to somehow make them appreciate the kind of happiness which they are possibly going to get very soon while the play will progress. Okay, so let's come back to their exchange of words. Oh, good Antonio, forgive me your trouble. If you will not murder me for my love, let me be your servant. So Antonio does not want to let go of Sebastian. He has really grown fond of Sebastian. He wants to stay on with him. If you will not undo what you have done. What has Antonio done? He has saved Sebastian. So undo what he has done means he will end up killing Sebastian. Why will he end up killing Sebastian? That is, kill him whom you have recovered, desire it not. So Sebastian is saying that, see, if you stay on with me, I'll kill myself. Why will he kill himself? Because he'll feel that Antonio will get struck with bad luck if he is with him, and therefore to stop that from happening, he might commit suicide. So he is indirectly kind of blackmailing Antonio that please get away from me, stay away from me, otherwise I'll feel so guilty that I might end my life. And then all your efforts to have saved me, you saved me, rescued me, all that effort would be of no use. So you will undo what you have done. Fare you well at once. So I'm bidding you farewell. My bosom is full of kindness. Kindness means emotion. Okay. So he's feeling very emotional right now because for one thing he has lost his sister, and now he's losing his friend, his only companion. Okay, so he's really feeling very emotional. And I am yet so near the manners of my mother. Manners of my mother means the way mothers behave, the way women behave. Now this is also a very fixed patriarchal comment because again, tradition, society, they believe that, well, women are the ones who show a lot of emotion. They weep aloud in public without feeling ashamed, while boys don't cry. Okay, so this is what he's talking about, that I am near the manners of my mother. I'm almost going to behave like women, that upon the least occasion more, if anything more happens, mine eyes will tell tales of me. I'll start weeping like a woman. And my eyes will reveal, that is, my tears will reveal that I am basically an emotional person. I am bound to the Count Orsino's quote, farewell. Now, this is very interesting. If you remember how Viola was acting on the second scene of the first act, when she was talking about her brother, she was emotional, but she was showing a kind of practical attitude. The way she was dealing with her rescuer and the way Sebastian is dealing with his rescuer. The sea captain, he rescued Viola. This Antonio, he rescued Sebastian. But there is no bond of friendship between Viola and that sea captain. It's more like economic exchange. It's more like a hierarchy is maintained there, that I belong to a category of person and you belong to another category. In case of Antonio, Sebastian, we see no such, you can say, difference of status. We see a lot of friendship that is growing up. And that is natural, because for Sebastian, it's not a problem. He is a man and he feels safe with Antonio. But Viola had to take that stand that I am a different person and I won't be interacting with friendliness with the people who have rescued me, although I will express my gratitude. The point I want to make is, in her attitude, we see what society would call a masculine stand, a masculine temperament. She is dealing with things like a man. Okay. In Sebastian, we see that he is openly admitting that he is dealing with things like with the attitude of a woman. He is dealing with things like a woman. Okay. Could it be that because they are twins, that their personalities have these elements of grayness about them? They are not black or white or fixed, or they are not blocks and chunks of male characters and female characters that we usually get in plays. The kind of fluidity of character that we see in case of Sebastian and Viola gives us an idea that Shakespeare understood that no man is only a man and no woman is only a woman. And because these two people are twins, it is more natural that their natures have got infected by each other somehow. I'm using the word infected, but I don't mean anything negative here. It's more like they are mixing their personalities because they were connected even before they were born. And this is also important because Twelfth Night is a play of how you present your identity and how you hide your identity, how you create the illusion of what you are not. And therefore, it is more natural for twins to lose their gender-defined roles, rather I would say society-defined gender roles, because only then we will accept Cesario as a proper character, believable character. Viola is capable of becoming Cesario because she has seen Sebastian right through her childhood. And therefore, it is easier for her to become Sebastian. Because she was saying this, right? That I will become like my brother. And for Sebastian, it is very important for us to notice the feminine aspects in him, because only then will Viola's change into Cesario be more like Sebastian, if Sebastian is a little bit like Viola. Alright, so this scene is more about establishing these shades of characters, how gender identities are getting mixed up somehow, and how men are behaving like women, women are behaving like men. And it also prepares us for some eventual rising action that will come, especially when we look at Antonio's final words. The gentleness of all the gods go with thee. I have many enemies in Orsino's court, else would I very shortly see thee there. In the previous speech, Sebastian says that he's going to go to Count Orsino's place because he thinks that Count Orsino is the ruler of this island, and therefore he might have some news if there was any rescue, if there was any woman who might have come to Illyria, maybe he would help me go back to my country. So he wants to go and meet Orsino for many reasons, and also because Orsino was somebody whom he knew about. This we have seen in case of Viola too, that Viola is saying that yes, I have heard my father name him. So Orsino was a known man to Sebastian too, and he wants to go to his court. But Antonio cannot go with him because Antonio is a marked man, he is a wanted man, he is a pirate, enemy of the state. So he cannot go and meet anybody there because he would be identified then. But come what may, I do adore thee so, that danger shall seem sport and I will go. So if you really need me, I wouldn't care if I am an enemy of the state, if I am in the most wanted list, if I am arrested or anything. I would rather go and help you because I love you a lot. So we see a lot of chivalry in Antonio, a lot of bravery in Antonio, and a lot of emotion in Sebastian. So we have a very short scene here, and in the second scene, we will see what is happening with Viola. That is going to be an interesting scene, although that is also going to be a very short scene. Okay, so thank you all for being with me. I will meet you all very soon in my next video. Till then, keep commenting, stay subscribed, stay very, very happy. This is Monami Mukherjee signing off. Bye-bye.